Can you hear me clearly? Is my video working properly? Sorry, I had some audio issues just now. Let me switch to my headset. You're cutting out a little bit. There's a slight delay on your end. Could you speak a little slower, please? Let me mute myself for a second. I'll unmute when I need to speak. Give me 1 second, please. Can everyone see my screen? Let me share my screen with you. Let me stop sharing for now. Can you zoom in on that part? Let me scroll down to show you. Let me open the code editor. Let me pull up the documentation. Can you see the terminal output? Let me show you the error message. Let me highlight the key section. Let's start with today's agenda. Let's quickly go through the updates. I have a few points to cover today. Let's keep this meeting focused. Let's stay on track, please. We can discuss that offline later. Let's take that to a separate thread. Let's not get distracted by other topics. Let's stick to the timeline. Let's move on to the next topic. I'll give you a quick update. My progress is on schedule. I've completed the main feature. I'm still working on the final details. I'm about halfway done. I need a bit more time to finish. I ran into some unexpected issues. I'll give you an ETA by tomorrow. I'll follow up with you after the meeting. I'll send a summary in Slack. Let's discuss the current problem. Here's the issue we're facing. Let me explain the background. This is affecting the user experience. This is blocking our release. We need to fix this urgently. Let's figure out the root cause. What do you think is happening here? Have you seen this behavior before? Let's collect more information first. Let me walk you through the logic. Let me explain how this module works. This is how the data flows. The request goes from frontend to backend. The response is returned to the client. This function calls 3 APIs. The service interacts with the database. We use a cache layer here. This part runs asynchronously. Let me clarify the architecture. Do you follow what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to interrupt me anytime. Can you repeat that, please? I didn't catch that last part. Could you clarify that point? What exactly do you mean by that? Let me make sure I understand you. So you're saying we should change this? I agree with your approach. That makes a lot of sense. I think that's a good idea. I support this solution. I have a different opinion. I'm not sure about that part. Let me explain my concern. We might run into risks here. Let's weigh the pros and cons. Let's compare the two options. Let's talk about the implementation. How should we implement this feature? What's the best way to structure this? Let's keep the code clean and simple. We should follow the coding standards. Let's use the existing framework. We need to make it scalable. Performance is important here. We must handle edge cases. Let's write unit tests for this. Let's check the integration points. How does this connect with other services? We need to coordinate with other teams. Let's align on the interface definition. The API contract must be clear. Let's confirm the request and response format. We need to version the API properly. Let's test the integration together. Let's avoid breaking changes. Let's ensure backward compatibility. Let's talk about the bugs we found. This bug only appears in production. I can reproduce it consistently. The error happens randomly sometimes. The logs don't show enough details. Let me check the server logs. The issue is related to the network. There's a timeout in the request. The data is not being saved correctly. The state is not updating properly. Let's discuss how to fix this. I have a possible fix in mind. Let me try this solution first. We can roll back the last change. Let's deploy a hotfix immediately. We need to test this fix thoroughly. Let's monitor it after deployment. This should resolve the issue. Let's verify it again tomorrow. The problem should be stable now. Let's go over the deployment plan. When is the next release window? Let's schedule the deployment. We'll deploy to the test environment first. Let's run the regression tests. The build pipeline is ready. The CI/CD is running smoothly. We need to notify the QA team. Let's do a final check before release. Let's monitor the system after deployment. Are you available for a quick call? Can we schedule a short meeting? Does tomorrow afternoon work for you? Let's find a common time slot. I'll send you a calendar invite. Please accept the meeting request. I might be a few minutes late. Go ahead and start without me. I'll join in a minute. Thanks for waiting for me. Let's assign the tasks clearly. I'll take responsibility for this part. Can you handle the front-end part? I'll work on the back-end logic. Let's split the work evenly. Let's set clear deadlines. I'll finish this by the end of the day. I'll update you on my progress. Let's help each other if we get stuck. Let's support each other remotely. Let me share the document link. I'll upload the slides later. Please check the document I shared. I'll leave comments in the file. Let's edit this together in real time. I'll update the requirements doc. Let's keep the documentation updated. I'll send the meeting minutes by email. Let's record the key decisions. Let's list the action items clearly. Sorry, I had a connection issue. My internet dropped for a second. Let me restart my router quickly. Let me rejoin the call. Can you see and hear me now? Let's use the chat for important links. I'll type that in the chat box. Let me send you the link privately. Let's use the breakout room if needed. Let's keep the channel professional. Thanks for your explanation. That was very helpful. I learned a lot from this discussion. Good point. I didn't think about that. Let's take your advice. Great collaboration today. I appreciate your support. Thanks for your patience. Let's follow up soon. Let's sync up again tomorrow. Let's wrap this up. We covered most of the topics. Any final questions before we end? Let's confirm the next steps. Let's not forget the action items. I'll send a recap shortly. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your workday. Thanks everyone for joining. Goodbye, talk to you soon. Let's make sure we're on the same page. Communication is key in remote work. Let's keep the communication clear. Don't hesitate to ask for help. We're a team even when working remotely. Let's stay productive and focused. Let's solve problems together. Clear communication prevents mistakes. Let's keep improving our workflow. I'll see you in the next meeting. Thank you for watching. Follow me for more practical videos.